Search for NASA CGI Moon Kit and click on the first link. We'll have to download 2 image textures. The first image is the color image. It'll be our skin for the moon. You can download the resolution of your choice. The second image is the displacement image. This will add texture to our moon. Once again, you can download your choice of resolution. Start by deleting everything and add a UV sphere. We want it to be low poly, so I'm gonna decrease this. Now I would say to set the UV sphere's radius to 1,737,500 meters, since that is the real radius of the moon, but that would break Blender, so we'll do the next best thing and set the radius to 1,737.5 meters. Now you may have noticed that your sphere has disappeared. We can fix this by going into View and increasing the clip end. To make the sphere look smooth, we'll add a subdivision modifier and make it shade smooth. Now we'll begin adding our material at the shading workspace. To see the sphere, you'll have to go to View again and did what we did before in the 3D viewport. Click New, press Shift+A and search for Image Texture. Connect the color output from the image texture to the color input of the principled BSDF. Then, click Open in the image texture and select your color moon texture. The real moon doesn't look smooth, it has craters and bumps, so we'll make ours bumpy as well using the displacement image texture we downloaded, which we can use as a map. So make another image texture node, select the displacement texture and make sure it's set to non-color, and connect the color output from the displacement image texture to the material output's color input. But there seems to be no bumps. This is because the bumps are very small. To have control over the size of the bumps, we'll make a math multiply node and place it between the displacement connection. Set the second number of your choice. The higher the number is, the larger the bumps are. Now we'll start working on lighting by first having rendered view on. Press Shift+A and add a sun. To make the sun brighter, you can adjust the strength. Now I'm just gonna set the sun's position. This is my sun's position, but of course, you can customize yours. For me, the crater are textured wrong. They bulge out rather than in. If this isn't the case for you, you can skip this step. To fix this, we're gonna invert the displacement map by adding an invert node between the displacement image texture node and the math multiply node. When you look at the image of the moon, the background isn't plain gray, it has stars and looks spacey, so we're gonna do the same by adding material to the world. We'll start by deleting the background node and adding a noise texture node and connect its factor output to the material output's color input. You'd notice that this doesn't look like space, because we need to control the frequency of the amount of black and white and its scale. First we'll control the color using a color ramp node in between the two nodes. Make sure you set the interpolation to constant. Now if you try to set the position of the white in the 3D viewport comes up as big blobs. This is because we haven't set up the scale yet. So in the noise texture node, I'm gonna set the scale to about 800. This is my color ramp node. I'm just gonna tweak some things in the noise texture before the final step. I'm going to add a math multiply node to set the brightness of the stars between the color ramp node and the material output. The second number can be whatever you want. The higher the number is, the brighter the stars are. Before you hit render, if you can't see the moon in the 3D viewport in your camera's perspective, you've to adjust your camera's clip end as well. Now it should be visible. Here's the final render. That concludes this video.